This is my Nitro 200 with my new strobes. Cost about $35 to create and install. What this is a strobe light that you can buy on Amazon with this 3D printed part that I've added here. I like how it mounts to the frame opposed to being mounted to my helmet or something, because this way I always know where it is. I don't have to have that extra weight on my head. Here's the box that came with the strobes. It doesn't have a good way to attach, so I 3D printed out these little zip tie adapters and then super glued them on the side. I stagger them a bit so that I can slip it right in this gap here on the side of my Delta 5 frame. Here's how these strobes come out of the box with these big connectors. I removed the metal bracket and replaced it with these things. These are 3D printed parts. I have the part available online. I then put some black liquid electrical tape and then some fresh solder on the joints. And because I'm picky, I put on different connectors. You don't have to do that. You can use the connectors it comes with. And you can put anywhere from 1 to 3 and just wrap around the tube right here. You could do it up here. You could do it up here. You could do it right here, wherever you want. Because it's kind of concave like that, it'll mount just about anywhere. I think I'm gonna put mine right here. I'm powering mine off of a 5-cell battery. This is the LiPo that I use for the eStart. Because this is a nominal 19 to 21 volts, and the box is only rated for 12, you either need to use a DC to DC converter like this one. I didn't end up using this one because it's quite heavy. This one's rated for up to 5 amps. And I have a fuse in line here. But I didn't end up using that because when I did some tests, it only used less than 250 milliamps is the most that this box used. So I have in line here a buck converter that's good for up to 3 amps. It's good for 1.5 amps without a heatsink. And so I did some testing on it, ran it for half hour, didn't even get warm. So I have a fuse in here, that's the output, and then there's the input. And so this is just going to be zip tied right back here. The LEDs are connected using these JST connectors. You could leave the original connectors in, but these are just much smaller. It's possible to disconnect them and take the whole frame apart without removing the LEDs. You do need to cut these zip ties on the top ones though. The wire is then attached with gaffer's tape and zip ties, which then comes all the way down. It is actually powered from this cable right here. This is something that I just spliced in. It's just a standard Molex connector. And this comes straight from the battery. I have it wired up with this switch so that it is only powered when the rest of the system is armed. I have links to that on Thingiverse as well. So the power comes out of here at 19 volts. It then comes into this wiring harness, which then comes here to a 3 amp fuse. You can use any amperage you want. I think 3 amps is plenty because I'm never going to be pulling more than 1 amp out of this. It then comes over, as I showed before, to that 12 volt regulator, which drops the voltage from 19 volts down to 12. And then from there it comes into the box. From the box, there's then 4 outputs. I'm only using 3 at the moment. Again, I replaced the standard connectors with these red ones. And then those red ones just run down along these tubes to the LEDs. So let's go ahead and turn it on. It runs off of the 5-cell LiPo that my Nitro 200 comes with. Now one thing is I do have to make sure to not over discharge the battery. This LiPo battery should be able to run that for several hours, no problem. So arm the system. I have the box over here, attached with zip ties. We'll go ahead and turn it on and switch it to mode A. As you can see, it's plenty bright. Should be visible for up to 3 miles away, no problem. Where I fly, there are a lot of Apache helicopters that fly nearby, so I want to make sure I have extra good visibility because they can fly quite low. And we'll switch it to the third mode. This mode takes the most current, so I probably won't use this mode very much. Switch it back to mode 1. Some people have commented that they don't like having things on top because your lines will snag. I haven't run into any issues yet. With the 3D printed part, it does slide up and over pretty easily, but I can remove this no problem. If I want to put it down, say lower, or just remove it entirely and just have the ones on the side, that's an option too. For about $35, pretty hard to complain. It's a pretty nice setup. Anyway, that's my strobe. You can now see me flying for up to 30 minutes after sunset.